What's up, everyone? We are back again. I hate showing my face on camera. We're back again with a little Cobra project. So I'm going to be swapping out the headlights, maybe. We're going to see if I like them. So these current headlights are stock OEM Ford housings with, the dark chrome stuff meant for halogen bulbs. Now, if anyone has ever put HIDs or LEDs in a halogen bulb, they are bright as shit, but they just throw light everywhere, and you can see, but you're blinding everybody else. So over here, I have my headlights from my V6. These are eBay special projectors. Here's your projector. There you go. I, at one point, opened those up, painted the inside black because I thought it looked better, and ran an HID kit in them. I'm going to take this car out here in a second, show you what the current headlights look like as it's starting to get dark finally, and then we're going to swap them out, and I'll show you what the new ones look like, and you guys can decide for yourselves which ones you feel like are better. I'm probably going to get a set of retrofits for these eventually, but on the list of things that I want to do to this car, that's not real high up currently because they're expensive. All right, so this is a good spot to kind of see. I have my windows up right now. So this is the LEDs out into this field kind of over by my house. You can see kind of light everywhere. I'm going to see if I can find a nice little building that I can kind of show you the cutoff on. They're bright, but not very focused. Okay, so this is just a nice building that's pretty close by my house, so I wanted to show you what the current LED headlights look like. It's not completely dark. There is a floodlight on the side of this building, but it's good enough. So that is the headlights. You can see, if I zoom in a little, really crappy cutoff. Light everywhere. Now, something else interesting of note, I have my high beams on. I don't have my high beams on. The high beams are seemingly backwards in this. That's high beams, less light, high beams, or low beams, more light. Well, that doesn't make any sense. There's a better cutoff without them forward, but that's supposed to be the high beams. That doesn't really make sense to me. So I'm going to swap these out and then show you the other ones. Okay, so in the process of swapping these out, if you've ever taken the headlights out of these cars, they're probably the easiest things ever. There's literally two of these little retainer clip things, and the headlight comes out. So down in there, how well you can see, there is an LED kit. So it's just kind of shoved in there for the moment. So everything should just kind of come out pretty easily. I still have an HID kit from my last car. For whatever reason, I have one fog light bulb. I don't know what happened to the other one, and I could not find it. But that is besides the point. And then I have these two HID kits. So here's one. These are from ddmtuning.com. I have used these kits multiple times, different cars. They are real cheap. They are made in China, but they work. They don't melt. They're pretty bright, and they're relatively small in terms of taking up an amount of space. So I'm going to swap these out and see what we think. All right, so I have one in. So my last car, I kind of made like a nice bracket to put all the wiring in underneath this thing. I'm probably going to end up doing that again because there is a lot of extra wiring with the HID kit. that you kind of have to shove somewhere. But I wanted to give you guys a comparison of the HID kit versus the LED. So I'm going to turn the lights on. Hopefully they work. I haven't tried it prior to right now. So the one doesn't work, so I did something wrong. All right, so there are two connectors on those headlights that are both the same, and I think I have them wrong, so let's see if this works now. Still a nope. All right, so that took me a minute to figure out which wires connect to what, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 6 connectors on these headlights. Basically, you have your plug that plugs into your factory headlight harness. You have this resistor thing. You have this. This goes to your HID kit from the bulb. These go to the HID kit, and then these 2 random other wires go to your resistor. It took me a minute to figure out what goes where, so I'm going to turn them on, and you can see the difference between the two. All right, so there's your LED bulb in the factory housing. Nice and bright. Oh, scatters everywhere. Here is LED, or I'm sorry, HID in projector housing. Also bright, doesn't scatter so much more focal beam. So I'm gonna put the other one in, and then I'm gonna take the car back out to where we started and see what you think. Okay, so we're back. These are the new headlights, and you can see they're a little bit of a different color temperature. These are 6000 K versus the LEDs. I'm probably gonna get different bulbs. I got these way long ago. I don't really like them anymore, but I'm gonna show you what they look like on that same building. Also, high beams work. All right, we're back in the same spot, and these are the headlights I just put in. So you can see the nice cutoff on the wall there. Let me zoom in a little. There you go. Nice clean cutoff. Here's the high beams. High beams high, and they're correct. They're not backwards. So I'm probably gonna keep these on the car for now until I get retrofits. But there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll drop a link to these specific headlights in the video description. You can get them on eBay. You can get them from Late Model Restoration. They're the same ones. The eBay ones are a little cheaper. I got mine from eBay many years ago. But hopefully retrofits at some point. And I'm out. I'm gonna go get some food. I got them all working and everything, but I got new bulbs from DDM Tuning, that company. I've used these kits for many years. They're cheap Chinese kits, but they come from California. They come quickly. They're relatively inexpensive, and I've never had any issues with them. They've always worked. So I'm trying to figure out a way to cleanly mount these. I'm going to show you what the ballast looks like. All right, so here's the ballast. If you're not familiar with HIDs, they have these little boxes called ballasts. They're basically like the power supplies, right? Small enough. The issue is this little attachment box thing. So my last car, I had made a bracket that just kind of L'd out right here and mounted them kind of flush with the hood latch, and they just kind of sat there, and that worked out pretty well. I don't really want to drill into the core support with this car, so I decided to see if I could figure out a way to mount them without doing so. Did not go particularly well so far. So, thing fits perfectly right here, and I could sticky tape it. The issue is then the radiator cover, the little plastic piece, does not go back on because then this is in the way. Doesn't really work on the other side, not big enough. Can't put it here, same thing in front of the radiator cover. So what I found, I had to trim a little bit of plastic off this little piece right here, and took quite a bit of finesse, and by finesse I mean some pry bar. I was able to shove the little black box through this tiny little space. It took me forever, probably like half an hour to try and get it through there. Run the wire past the air conditioner condenser lines and right through there and down. You can see the red and blue wire where it kind of tucks nicely in this hole for the headlights. So this one's pretty much done, and I mounted the ballast, I don't know why I said it that way, right there with some double-sided tape, and it should hold on pretty quickly, and you cannot see it at all from outside the car. So I have the one side done. The issue is I can put this one in the same place on the other side, right there, but the hood latch cable is in the space where I shoved the little black box, this thing, through the hole on the other side. So I don't think I'm going to be able to shove this one through said hole. So I'm going to try and have to figure out where else I can put this thing. The issue is not really the size of it. It's just so thick. It's hard to like tuck anywhere. And I could really use this cord to be a little bit longer to give me some more leeway so it would still reach the headlight depending on where you mount it. I may end up just having to shove this one over by the battery. I'm not sure. I'll report back in a few minutes. So unsuccessful without removing the hood latch or cutting any of that plastic piece in there up. So I ended up, since the battery is still in here, I don't know if you can see that, but basically there is your ballast. I kind of tucked it in the corner behind the battery so you can't see it. Sort of clean. If I ever take the battery out of the engine bay, then I'm gonna have to move it again, but at least it makes all my wires nice and accessible. So I'm just gonna stick the headlight back in, and we're kind of done with this project over it officially.